Welcome to Brand Me. I'm Preston Konrad, and this is the podcast about doing your own thing, whether it's building a personal brand, maximizing your side hustle, or making the most of your everyday. Hey, everybody. Today's show is just family. It is you and me, and I want to dedicate this episode to talk about TikTok. I think more than ever, you've probably heard me and my guests chatting about TikTok and its importance and my newfound love for it. But I want to dive into why I believe so strongly in TikTok right now and why I think you should dabble in TikTok if you're not already, and how you can use it to grow your personal brand or your regular brand if you're starting a company. So I think more than ever, guys, you know, I've had actually guests on from Instagram. We all know and love Instagram, but being fully transparent, I think my newfound love for TikTok comes from my frustration with Instagram, being fully honest. Now more than ever, and I know I'm not in this boat alone, my content on Instagram is not being discovered by as many people. It's not reaching as many people. And the general consensus is that Instagram seems to not be working for creators, brand builders, and entrepreneurs the way that it used to, right? It's still working, but it's a lot harder to get the results that we used to get not only, 2 years ago, a year ago. So while I'm the biggest fan of diversifying your content and being everywhere that you can, I'm not treating Instagram as important as I used to, if that makes sense. I used to be the guy, and if you followed me for a long time, you know that I used to post every single day on my feed. I used to maybe post twice a day on my feed. And it's kind of a simple explanation that if I'm not seeing the results, I'm not as motivated to use the tool. So while my stories are the most fun way for me to engage with you and the place that I see the most engagement and the most reach, the feed isn't really cutting it for me. And Reels, being fully transparent, a little glitchy. I still think they're trying to figure out their rhythm. And I saw this funny meme that was like, no, of course I don't watch TikTok. I watch Reels 2 weeks after the trend already happened on TikTok, like a true fucking grown-up. And I think that's why I'm not engaging in Reels. I've already seen it on TikTok. So now that you're understanding kind of where I am in life and why I'm loving TikTok so much, not like Instagram is not going to be important to me. It's where I found you and where I found my voice online, and I'll still treat it with care. But I'm really having fun on TikTok, and it's really helped my brand grow and show a different side of not only my personality, but of my personal brand. So let's dive into why I think you should do the same. So just to give you a little context, I joined TikTok like a lot of other people right in the middle of the COVID pandemic. I think it was April of 2020. We were all locked in our homes. We were looking for new ways to be entertained. We were feeling burnt out and scared and freaked out by the whole situation. And to be honest, Instagram really wasn't helping. We were seeing people breaking the rules of what they should be doing. And I was getting frustrated, I know, seeing people that weren't staying at home and all that stuff. I said, I need a little escape. And my friends were saying, join TikTok. I said, I'm 100 years old. I'm not joining TikTok. I can't dance, and I'm not going to dance. I'm a business guy. I don't need to be dancing on the internet. So I downloaded it, and I was like, your aunt that just uses it to watch other people, just to kind of get my feet wet and understand what the platform was all about. And I found myself instantly entertained, and I was consuming and getting lost in this endless scroll. And I think when I decided to put my first TikTok out, I didn't really know what it was or what my voice would be on TikTok. I was just kind of putting out funny content, right? I'm like, oh, is this where I have to lip sync something or do one of these trends? And it took me a minute to kind of figure out my rhythm on TikTok. And I said to myself, I think I shared a bunch of stuff. I shared, I tried to share some style. I tried to share some home. I tried to share a little bit of humor. And what I found that stuck was home decor. And That's always been an important part of my personal brand. As you know, I have a product line called Preston Konrad Home, and I actually found myself in a bit of a weird situation on Instagram because I had launched a home brand, but I wasn't known for home decor on Instagram. I was known for showing approachable men's style, grooming, and lifestyle tips, and I actually had to do a lot of work to kind of pivot that and bring my Instagram audience into this new part of my life, where on TikTok, I felt like, oh, wow, this is a blank canvas. These people don't know me from Adam. I could say that I'm in home decor from the jump, and they wouldn't know about my previous life on Instagram, right? There might be a little crossover, but they wouldn't really know. So I decided to really lean into that. And when you do the same, and I would recommend that, I would recommend getting your feet wet on TikTok and kind of seeing what content is being served to you, what content you're engaging with, and then kind of starting to put out different types of content, whether it's informational, it is entertaining, it's vlog style. You're going to have to throw spaghetti at the wall like I did to see not only what makes you happy to create, but what your audience wants to consume. And you can see that really easily because of the views, right? The reach on TikTok is wild. It's not throttled, and you're reaching people that are way more than just your followers list. That's what I think I love more than Instagram, is that the way that the platform is designed is that you put out a piece of content and it's just served to everybody, not just the people that are following you. I actually think Instagram is trying to change their UX to do a similar thing, but see what works. Put the content out and see what works. I noticed that people didn't want style and grooming from me. They wanted home decor on TikTok, so that's what I stuck to. As far as, and by the way, I kept with that. I've kept with that for now 2 years. So I used TikTok during COVID pandemic. I had a blast with it. I was covering anything and everything I could think of when it came to approachable home decor tips, fun hacks that you could do in your house, ways to spruce up your space, little things you never knew. And I had a blast. I had a couple videos that reached like 1 million views, which, I mean, let's be honest. I only have I have 113,000 followers on Instagram. None of my content was seen by 1 million people on Instagram. So I got high from it. It was like getting a hit, right? I got a high from it, and I fell more in love. So I continued to use the platform. And then when the world started to come back to normal a little bit, I abandoned it, right? I was like, ugh, I have too much going on. I've got a brand. I've got my Instagram, which is where I started. I've got my podcast. I can't feed all these beasts. I can't do TikTok. So I didn't use it. Didn't even open it. I was too afraid to open it because I didn't want to see the notifications. So that was, I probably stopped using it in the summer of 2020. And just this Christmas time, around Christmas, I think in January, January of 2022, I opened the app back up again. And I said, what's going on here? Let me rip the Band-Aid off and see what's happening. And at that time, I had probably 30,000 followers, and I hadn't posted a new video in, I don't know, close to 2 years. And I said, why don't I just take a shot at this again? So I put out content, and it took off. 2 million, 2.8 million, 1.1 million. And I do think the app was kind of rewarding me for opening it back up again. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think they were like, hey, we'll give you that dopamine hit again. Look how much you love us. We're giving you millions of views. So it got back into it. But I'll just cut to the chase. I opened the app back up in January of 2022. It's now May of 2022. And I went from that 30,000 followers to 191,000 followers as of today. It's impressive. The growth is impressive, the reach, the scale, and it's converted for my business. I'll be honest. We actually ran a test. I did a video on my brand and put it on Instagram, and I did the same video and I put it on TikTok. Not only did the TikTok one reach so many more people, but I could see on the back end where the traffic and the sales came from, and they came from TikTok. And I actually have the guys at my store who work at Preston Konrad Studio. Patrick said to me the other day, he said, you know what's happening more and more now? People are saying that they found us on TikTok, which is proof it's working. So that's just to give you a little bit of the background of how I got into the app. how I got into, how I kind of reintroduced myself to the app. And now I post, I try to post every day, at least once a day, and maybe every other day if I can't keep it up. But I definitely do take a few days off here and there. I think there's a myth that you need to post like 5 million pieces of content a day on TikTok, and you totally don't. But I don't post really outside of the niche that I found that works for me, which is home decor. And that's something that one of my biggest tips as we get into the tip section of this, of how you can use TikTok and maximize it, is that you really have to shake your preconceived notions of what a social media platform is. TikTok's not a social media platform. It's not really much social about it. It's actually an entertainment platform. So your job is to entertain, educate, and be a bright spot in someone's day on TikTok, where on Instagram, you're messaging, you're DMing, hey, where'd you get the sweater? Send me the link. It's much more social. And because of that, on TikTok, you really have to stay in your niche. Where on Instagram, you can share, your favorite supplements, your trip with your girlfriends, the clothes you just got at Zara, the wedding you went to last weekend, a beautiful shot in portrait mode of your outfit. It can be much more diverse on Instagram, because Instagram's kind of like your magazine, right? And you get to be the editor-in-chief of your magazine, and you get to decide what goes in your magazine and how it looks. On TikTok, it is one magazine that is about a niche topic, right? It's a cars magazine. It is a cooking magazine. It is a home improvement magazine. Like, you have to think that niche. It's not a lifestyle magazine like Instagram is. So my biggest tip as we get into the tip section of this is to try out and see what sticks. Once you find what sticks, take it and literally run with it. And that may seem kind of weird and boring to you. Like, I even just today, I was putting out a new TikTok, and I was like, God, I really wish I could show some more part of myself. And I realized it's not the time or the place to do that. I show tons of myself all over the rest of the internet, on my blog, on my Instagram, on Twitter, in the DMs. And I'm using TikTok for what it's worth, which is niche content that's snackable, entertaining, educational, and fun to be on. So that's kind of my experience with TikTok. Let's get into some tips. So if you are ready to get TikTok, you're ready to, if you already have it, you're not using it, or if you're ready to download it for the first time, let's go through some of my best practices. So this is what worked for me. This is not like from anyone at TikTok. This is just my personal experience. So if you have any different takes on this, feel free to DM me or message it to me, because I'd love to hear. But I think number one is frequency, right? So you want to make sure you are feeding this puppy, right? You want to make sure that you're using it. So if you're deciding you're going to get onto it and start to treat it seriously, I would, make sure you're making enough content, or that you've set enough time to at least post, I would say 4 times a week. So of the 7 days, 4 times a week, it works for me. On certain weeks, I post every day of the week. I, like everyone else, get burnt out and frustrated, and sometimes scale back. But in general, 4 times a week has worked for me when I'm treating TikTok seriously, right? And then once you've come up with that, how long should these be? So what's cool about TikTok is that they actually, I don't have this feature, but you're able to record up to 10 minutes of content. I think mine maxes out at 3 minutes, and Reels is, by the way, only 60 seconds. So that's interesting. But typically what works for me is the minute and under. The sweet spot for a lot of people is that 6 to 15 seconds. I am long-winded. Hi, I'm doing a podcast episode by myself. So I'm long-winded, so I typically can't squeeze in my content or what I'm trying to say in 6 to 15 seconds. But up to a minute is what's performed for me. I think it's been pretty rare that I've gone over the minute mark. So that's what it is for length. Planning tools. I really don't use any planning tools for TikTok like I would for Instagram. Instagram, there's, services like Planoly, where you can plan out your grid and what it will look like. That literally fucking doesn't matter on TikTok, just so you know. The messier the grid, the better. I think a lot of people, again, preconceived notion, Instagram has trained you to have a feed of a platform look a certain way, and I don't think personally that it needs to. So don't worry about planning. But as far as like a little checklist. So you've gone through that and now you're ready to make content. The first thing that I would say is you have to start with a hook. There is so much great information and entertainment on TikTok that and the attention span is so short on TikTok that if you have something to say, you need to hook your audience from the first, under 3 seconds. Things like, here's a way to blank. These are 3 things that you need to blank. Or does anyone ever wonder why blank, right? So you've automatically captured your audience into sitting through the entire video, because the watch time, the time spent on your content, is what feeds the algorithm. So if the video is watched to completion, if it's watched multiple times by the same person, and to get to that point, you want to make sure that you're hooked from the very beginning. Once you hook them from the beginning and you're in the time length that we just talked about, there's a bunch of little tools that you can use in the app that for me have worked really well. One is the captions feature. I probably, like a lot of people, watch TikTok late at night, like while you're on the couch. And TikTok's loud. Like, it comes on loud. There's songs, there's dancing, there's crazy shit. And a lot of people watch it with the volume really low or down. So the caption feature has really worked well for me to communicate my message and to give that payoff moment. And then other little things like, I use trending audio from the viral trend list. I shoot it on my phone instead of shooting it like, a lot of people, Instagram, again, trained us that you need to shoot this high quality content on a DSLR. Not necessary for TikTok. The grittier, the realer, the better. I shoot it on my phone. I use this crazy random little microphone that I plug in to get good audio so you can hear my message, but it's down and dirty. So try to do that with your TikTok. Don't put too much thought into it, right? And speaking of features, use all the features that are within the app. Use the green screen feature, use the enhance feature, which makes the color really pop. You can use the voiceover feature. I typically do most of my content with a voiceover feature in some way, which I find is really soothing to listen to. It helps me retain information. It's a really, really easy app to use once you get the hang of it, by the way. So I would try to play around with all the tools and use everything that they have in the app. Now that we talked about some things that have worked for me, let's wrap this up by talking about what a TikTok is good for, what TikTok is good for, and what TikTok is not good for, right? Because like we just talked about, there's a lot of things that work on Instagram that I don't think really work well on TikTok, and I think it's important to understand the difference of between the two. So, for example, experimentation is great on TikTok, where more like regimented is great on Instagram, right? Like your Instagram audience has been trained. They love when I say morning people every morning. They look forward to swipe up links. Like I've trained them. There's a regiment there. But with TikTok, it's really about experimentation. One day I'm shooting in the car because I'm waiting for the street cleaner. One day I'm walking down the sidewalk. One day we're talking about trending chairs. It's really about trying new shit on TikTok, right? And that leads to my second, it's a place to be carefree. So your Instagram personality, maybe for you, your personal brand or your business, maybe is a bit more curated, right? It's that magazine. You're the art director of your own magazine. Let it loose a little bit on TikTok. These people don't know you. They can be a little savage. I will say the audience can be a little savage, but that's what the block button is for. But be a little carefree. Try to speak in a way that you wouldn't speak to your Instagram audience. Maybe you're a little nervous to kind of be a little more free on Instagram because businesses and other, thought leaders follow you there. Don't worry about it on TikTok. If they find you, they find you. The other thing that I like TikTok for is this kind of method of soft selling yourself or your product, right? Where on Instagram, I'm a little more deliberate. I tag the product, shop it now, swipe up to this. Here's my new drop. You can access it this way. On TikTok, it's a much softer sell. Like I talk about the brand, I talk about the steps that went into a product, not just, hey, buy this product, this is brand new, I just dropped this. It's more of that soft kind of storytelling moment that for me has driven product sales and has seen the engagement spike. So softer selling, experimentation, and being carefree. The other thing I'll leave you with there on what it is a place for on TikTok is timely trends. And I think it's a little like embarrassing sometimes to watch Reels and see these like trend things that are happening on Reels because they just happened on TikTok. I mean, they happened on TikTok first, then they came over to Reels. They're not a trend anymore. It's kind of embarrassing. And a trend doesn't mean you have to be dancing. It doesn't mean you have to be lip syncing something. Maybe there's a trend going on about how my business started and where it is today. That's a trend you could get on if you are a business person and you don't want to be dancing around in your living room. So really digest and see what the trends are and use them. And the best way to do all this stuff and to familiarize yourself, guys, is just to get on the app. Hang out on TikTok, get lost in a TikTok K-hole for a minute, send some stuff to your friends, prime it up, understand how the thing works before you actually drive the car. And when you're ready to drive the car and you still have questions, you can send me a DM. Let's see, by the way, before I let you guys go, because these solo episodes are going to be a bit shorter, I'm actually going to pull up my TikTok. Let's see. Yeah, we're at 191, guys. I just posted a video. I wanted to check and see how it's doing. It's doing pretty good. I will say, watch this. Your TikTok views will be higher than your Reels once you get off to the races. So anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful for you. I want to hear more from you. If you have questions about this, I, of course, would love your follow on TikTok. My handle's the same, Preston Konrad. And especially if you like home decor or if you're interested to see another side of my personal brand, come on over to TikTok because that's where I'm sharing all that stuff. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Can't wait to see you next week. And until then, stay stylish. You've heard me talk about my brand, Preston Konrad Home, and if you've ever wanted to grab something from my luxury home fragrance collection, today is your day. I want to hook you guys up with 10% off of any single item on PrestonKonradHome.com. That's one of our luxury candles or our new hand wash. Use the code BRANDME. That's PrestonKonradHome.com. Offer code BRANDME. For more on the show, you can find us on Instagram at BrandMePodcast or at Preston Konrad. Be sure, of course, to rate, review, and subscribe and share on social. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.